Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you very much for clicking play. As always, this is episode 20 of our Director of Football Challenge with Football Club Barcelona. Today, as you can see, we are in the Champions League. It's the first leg in Germany against Eintracht Frankfurt. So we'll have a little bit of a look at them, just see how they've been doing. You can see the first 4 games of the last 16 have been played, and Atletico have a slim advantage over Arsenal. Chelsea smashed PSG 4-1, but that away goal could prove crucial in the second leg. Milan, perhaps surprisingly, beat Manchester City 2-0, and Juventus smashed my old FM17 team Marseille 3-0 on the French Riviera. So Juve are pretty much through. The other ties could be interesting. That Milan-Man City one, little bit dicey for City. That's a dangerous lead to try and come back from. Elsewhere tonight as well, another game in Germany where Bayern Munich hosts Manchester United, Galatasaray against Valencia, and also in Germany we have RB Leipzig up against Real Madrid. So some really good ties coming up on this match day. So we've just got 2 matches to catch up on today, and that is about it. We'll have, as I say, we'll have a look at our opponents and we'll get straight to it. So the first game on the road since that horror show in the Wanda Metropolitano was this frustrating 0-0 draw at the Coliseum against Getafe. You can see from the stats we were just totally dominant. We just could not put the ball in the back of the net. Can't really fault them for effort. 23 shots with 8 on target. That's probably the downside, that we didn't quite put enough on target. 61% possession though. It was just a really frustrating game where it just wouldn't fall for us. But hey, you get games like that, don't you? You can't really do a lot about it when their goalkeeper makes all the saves. And just a few days later, this happens at home to Real Sociedad, and we have 31 shots on goal, put 13 on target, and we win 3-0, and we absolutely spanked them. I mean, you can see, to be fair, they went down to 9 men in the second half. They were at 10 men before half time, so we probably should have won by more. But goals from Angel Di Maria, Moussa Dembele and Gerard Deulofeu got us the points. But after that 0-0 with Getafe, this was an absolute must-win. The league table looks like this then. We are still second, but we're only 5 points behind Real Madrid now, and that is because they did lose the same match day that we drew, at Getafe. They lost, I think it was at Valencia. So that was a massive result, which made it all the more frustrating because they played before us. So it made it all the more frustrating that we couldn't get past Getafe. Another one, a bit like Malaga, another one of our bogey teams, both in the game and in real life. So we are down, it's down to 5. And if we beat Sevilla in that game in hand, a rapidly improving Sevilla, it has to be said, we could get it down to 2, and then it is very much game on. But that's a long way away. There's a lot of football to be played, but it's looking a little bit better. Big news as well on the injury front. Our 2 main injuries are both back. Andres Iniesta and Leo Messi are back in the squad. Iniesta is going to start today because he's got the condition. It's just the match fitness that he's lacking. So he's going to do an hour 70 minutes for us today, hopefully. Leo Messi's on the bench today. He's only at 86%. He's only just come back. You can see it's the it's right there. He's only just come back after 2 months out. Hoping to give him maybe 20 minutes at the end of the match, just to break him in a little bit, because his match fitness is down at 45%. So this is all it's going to be for the next few games. Just build him up a little bit, and then we can start bringing him back into the starting lineup. But it's fantastic to have these 2 legends back for selection. Today's opponents then are Eintracht Frankfurt. They are currently 14th in the Bundesliga. We'll just have a quick look at the table in a second. They finished 4th last season and qualified for the Champions League through the playoff. So they've done phenomenally well to get through their group. We'll have a look at what group they were in as well. But this should be the end of the line for the Germans. We should be getting through this quite comfortably. I kind of expect us to pretty much put the game to bed in this first leg, hopefully. That is my expectation going into the game. You can see they're managed by Niko Kovac, the former Croatia player and manager. I think he managed the senior men's team as well. David Abraham is their captain from Argentina. Makoto Hasebe is the vice captain, and Jethro Willems, Dutch defender, is their key player. Now, I don't think he's there in real life, because looking at it, he joined on the 7th of July in game, so I assume that was an in-game transfer. But what a coup for Frankfurt that was. But let's have a look at the Bundesliga table then and just see. I mean, you've got to remember as well, it's an 18-team league, so 14th is very, very precarious indeed. They're only 4 points above the relegation playoff and the relegation places themselves as well. That's a bit of a surprise, seeing Cologne at the top, Dortmund second, Bayern, Leipzig, my favourites, Leverkusen, are kind of well positioned for charge into Europe, but Frankfurt definitely having a very bad season. Guessing their travails in the Champions League are taking their toll. And this was their Champions League group. To be fair, they probably went into it expecting to kind of get through, or optimistic that they would. Only Juventus there, you can see, ran away with the group with 5 wins and a draw. And then it was Besiktas and CSKA Moscow that were the other teams in the group. So they would have really fancied their chance of getting second. Besiktas, of course, who we met at the last 16 stage in our first season, and we beat them quite comfortably. So it's going to be a tricky game, but as I say, they only went through with 7 points in a very weak group, so we should be seeing them off today, really. A look at the squad then, and there's a couple of names immediately that stand out here, being a Leverkusen fan, and it's the defence, Tin Jedvaj and Danny Da Costa, both really good players for Bayer Leverkusen. Not so much Danny Da Costa, he doesn't get much for looking, but Tin Jedvaj, that's a really big surprise. They got both of them for less than 4 million combined. Makoto Hasebi was the vice captain. He's a decent looking utility player, can play in a lot of positions, mainly in the spine of the team though, and he got some really good stats, but he is 35, so physicals are definitely on the wane. Sebastien Haller is a French striker who a lot of people like in the game. That they signed for 7 million from Utrecht. He's a really good looking striker, maybe not quite top level striker, but definitely should be at a Champions League team. He is a very promising looking striker. Timothy Chandler is a US right-sided player, pretty quick. He's got good physicals. He's 28, so he's in his prime. He could well be one of their danger men down that right-hand side. They've got Gelson Fernandez as well. That's a good signing. Good midfielder. Should be really, really good for this Frankfurt team. David Abraham's their captain, isn't he? 32 years of age. Been at the club since 2015, so he's there in real life. Again, looks like a pretty competent centre-back. So they've got a solid, if not exciting squad. They've got Doria as well. If you've watched my Marseille save, you know we had him for a short time. He was really, really good. Doesn't look quite as good in this year's game. And Mark Stendera, he was one of the golden boys in German football when he broke through 4 years ago, something like that. Still got a couple of fairly decent stats, and he can play in a lot of different positions. But look at those physicals. They are awful. 23 years of age. Those physicals should be a lot better than that. This is the team we're going with today then. We've got Marc-Andre ter Stegen in goal, Jordi Alba, Samuel Umtiti, Gerard Piqué and Nelson Semedo at the back. Going with Sergio Samper in the deep line playmaker role today, with Paulinho and Iniesta in front of him. And it's Ousmane Dembele, Di Maria and Luis Suarez up top. We're going with Luis Suarez on a Trequartista role today, hoping to just turn that screw on Frankfurt a little bit and hopefully put the tie to bed. Very strong bench with the likes of Moussa Dembele, who wants some first-team football. He's unhappy at the moment. Leo Messi, of course, Carlos Alenya, Stefan de Vrij, Rafinha, all on there. So it's a very, very strong squad. We have no injury worries, so it is looking really, really good. Here we are at the Waldstadion then. I'm not sure if it's a sponsored stadium in real life. The name doesn't ring a bell. I do follow German football, but that name doesn't ring a bell. I'm sure it must be called something different. So they're playing a kind of a 3-5-2-ish type formation. So we might be able to get them down the wings because they've only got their wing backs there and no support for them. So hopefully our 4-3-3 kind of formation should do the trick here today. So let's get into them then. We are just going to say we are the favourites go out here and give the fans a performance to cheer for. Let's do this. Let's get to the quarterfinals and hopefully beyond. Vamos Barca, Forza. The players are on their way out then, and the lineup's there, and it's a sea of black and white in the stadium. The home team's colours, of course. We are looking for 2 or 3 away goals here for sure. So Bayern Munich are taking on Manchester United at the Allianz in the other match in today's match day. The other 2 matches, of course, take place tomorrow. As a cross from Semedo is taken by Hradecky, and he's kicked it forward, but Sergio Samper's got to it. Suarez now to Iniesta. I love Andres Iniesta. Every Barcelona, in fact, every Spanish football fan loves Andres Iniesta, it seems, unless you're the real most vitriolic Real Madrid fan, mainly because of his World Cup winning goal, of course, and he still now gets standing ovations from it, even, 7 years later. The man is just revered so highly in Spain, and rightly so. How he and Xavi never won the Ballon d'Or is beyond me. I don't endorse a lot of, I don't put too much into it in the Ballon d'Or. It's a team game at the end of the day. Suarez has missed a really good chance, but you've got to be proud of your players when they win it, and Messi should be winning it pretty much every year. Ronaldo should be competing for it every year as well, but Xavi and Iniesta should have both won it. They have both been absolute legends of the game. As Di Maria's hit one off the post, didn't he? Came back, hit Hradecky and went out for the corner, which is cleared away. Oh, is there a break on here for Rebic? Get in there. We've got plenty back. Semedo covers well. So you see it's still 0-0 in the other game in Germany as well. That's going to be a really interesting tie. I can't call that because Man United are really overpowered, aren't they, on FM? They always are. But Bayern are Bayern, aren't they? Oh, great effort, Lewis. So that should be a really good tie to keep an eye on. I'd be very surprised if that was 0-0 at the final whistle. As Dembele fires one wide, we've had 7 shots on goal now. Put them all off target. Come on, boys, get your act together. Test this keeper because he isn't that good. Come on. Corner for Di Maria. Goes out to Iniesta. And it's another poor shot. Corner for Di Maria. So we have just done a little encouraged shout out just to tell him to keep going. That was close from Iniesta. 0-0 in both games at the minute. It's been all us. We've got a dangerous free kick here, but 9 shots and none on target yet. We have to work this keeper, and there is 10 all off target. This is appalling at the minute. We've got to test the keeper. We're not getting in behind. We're not creating anything at the minute. It's not good enough, but we might have something on the go here. Here's Semedo across to Iniesta, and it's another long range shot, but at least it's on target. Here's Luis Suarez. What can you do? This is a great run, and he's played it for Dembele. Good hit, good save for Hradecky. That's more like it, boys. That is more like it. That's what we want to see. That was a good little link up between the front 2 there. Di Maria goes out to Iniesta again. Helps on for Dembele. And there it is. We've been knocking and knocking. It has been all Barcelona. It's just been a case of getting our shots on target. Our first 10 were off target. Our last 3 have all been on target. And that is more like it. What a finish from Ousmane Dembele. So that brilliant finish from Dembele is the difference at half time, and you can see it's still 0-0 in Germany, but Manchester United have had Antonio Valencia sent off on the stroke of half time. Bayern should be making them pay for that in the second half. But what are we going to say? Well, we're going to say things are going well, but I know you're capable of even better. Because it has been going all right. We're totally dominant, but we should be more than 1 goal up. So let's make sure that we get it in this second half. Vamos Barca, come on. We need 2-3 goals in this one so we can rest players for the second leg. Jordi Alba with a throw to Andres Iniesta. Paulinho. Have I mentioned him in commentary so far? I'm not sure. Jordi Alba switches now to Di Maria. Nelson Semedo made the run, but he's gone back out. Di Maria to Ousmane Dembele. Played across to Paulinho, and he skied it. Goal kick thumped long, but Umtiti wins the header. Mascarello now, and Frankfurt have the ball. They haven't had a shot on goal yet, and they're not going to get one in this move because Suarez has it now, and it's been deflected by Jordi Alba. Sergi Samper. Alba again. Get past him. Oh, he's played it in field to Jordi Alba. Across to Paulinho. Oh, and Hradecky with a good save. Samper heads down to Iniesta. Paulinho. Good spray out to Dembele. Got Jordi Alba on the overlap. Paulinho, though, instead. Luis Suarez out to Semedo. Good support. Di Maria back to Semedo. This is lovely play. Suarez free header. Oh, he got that all wrong. Free kick then. Rafinha takes. Looking for Suarez. Headed down. Messi is now on the pitch. Carlos Alenya is now on the pitch. Rafinha is now on the pitch. And Alenya's put it wide. So, yeah, we've made all three changes. Di Maria, Paulinho, Iniesta have all gone off. Umtiti with another big header. And Luis Suarez coming forward. Oh, it's a good hit. Hradecky with the save. Absolute domination in this game. Bayern have scored against United as well. Robert Lewandowski with a goal just after the hour mark. They will be looking to really put the pressure on United, though, with 10 men. We've got some defending to do here. Here's Hasebi and Barkok. Samper, though, picks up the loose ball. Jordi Alba now. Back to ter Stegen. And a big lump forward from ter Stegen. Luis Suarez has got to the ball. And here he comes. Going all the way. He's been driven out wide. But what a run, Luis Suarez. Absolutely superb. Goes all the way back to Samper. But now Alenya. What was that? Leo Messi to take this free kick. He goes in towards Rafinha. It's headed away. Comes to Jordi Alba, though. So we've got just under 10 minutes to go, plus stoppage time. I'm a little disappointed we're only 1-0 up, especially as Aller could be in here. And Tawatha. And Aller, and he's missed a really good chance. That's their first shot on goal. And it should probably have been on target at the very least as well. That was a very presentable chance. Manchester United must be defending for their lives in Germany. Still only 1-0 to Bayern. And they've played a full half of the match with 10 men of United. So what a result that will be for them. And that's a free kick. Tawatha's going to be off here for a second yellow with a minute to go plus stoppages. Can we make them pay in what's going to be, 3-4 minutes left? Here's Sergio Samper. Breaks for Luis Suarez. Bit of a scramble. And it's an offside. But yeah, I mean, we've dominated, but we just haven't been able to get that killer second goal. A second goal here would put it to bed. A 1-0 away win is always good in the knockout stages, but it would be a little bit nervier than it probably should be. But it does mean that we'll be doing the second leg if we don't score again in the next video. So let's see what happens. Here's Jordi Alba looking for Ousmane Dembele. Good ball in here and we could have it. Back to Jordi Alba. Passing it around nicely here. Rafinha. Oh, what a hit from Rafinha. And that should be that. That should be the tie done. 2-0 away from home. Surely there's no way Frankfurt turn this around in the Camp Nou. Surely. What a beautiful move, though. We didn't just lump it into the box. Passed it around. And Rafinha with a rasping drive into the top corner for 2-0. That should be that for not only the first leg, but for the tie in general. And we've managed to exploit 10 men in 2 minutes, and Bayern have only managed to do it once in 45 in their game. So yeah, hopefully we don't get Bayern in the second leg, in the next round, sorry. Hopefully we don't get United either, or Chelsea. I don't really want any of those teams. It's going to be such a hard second knockout round. It's just going to be so tough. Whoever we get is going to be a real challenge, because you've got the likes of Chelsea or PSG, haven't we? We've got maybe Atletico Madrid, Juventus are going to be in there. It's going to be so tough. But there is the final whistle. A solid 2-0 win, unspectacular. It's the very least I wanted, the very least I expected. So it's pretty much job done. We're just going to calmly say that was a good win. No need to go overboard. It should have been 3-4-5, to be honest, but we'll take what we can get. It's 2 away goals and it's non-conceded. Can't ask for much more than that. Okay, that is it. The first legs are done, and you can see I've fast forwarded through to Wednesday, so we can see the whole picture going into those second legs. Bayern did win 1-0 against United. Galatasaray beat Valencia 2-0, and Leipzig and Madrid shared a 1-1 draw. So there are 2 that look like they're done, and that is ourselves and Juve. So it's, as I say, it's just going to be so tough in the next round. As things stand, the team that I would probably want would be Galatasaray or Valencia, whichever comes out of that tie. I would probably want them in the next round. Will it work out like that? We'll have to wait and see. So let's go to the schedule and see what we're going to do. Now, if it had finished 1-0, I think we would have done the second leg on camera. As it stands though now, I think we will probably do the Atletico Madrid game instead in La Liga, because if we just go back to the La Liga table at the moment, as things stand, they are third. So it should be a big, important match, hopefully. We're still in touch with Real Madrid. You can see we've got Espanyol and Las Palmas coming up in the next 2 games. 2 of the early pace setters in the league. They're still 4th and 5th respectively, so they're not going to be easy games, that is for sure. We've then got Sporting Gijón, the game in hand against Sevilla, and Deportivo La Coruña before that second leg with Frankfurt, and then it's that Atletico game. So if for whatever reason that Atletico game isn't quite as important, then we may go with the second leg against Frankfurt. We will see, but it'll be one of those 2. But anyway, that will do it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you had an amazing Christmas and New Year. Can't wait for 2018 to get going now. I can't wait for things to happen on the channel and for this series to continue. I'm loving making it. It seems like you guys are still loving watching it, so that is all good. Remember to smash that like button and hit subscribe if you haven't already. Turn on those notifications as well for me. That would be fantastic. And as always, get involved in the comments down below. I love reading and interacting with you guys. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you very soon. Bye bye.